Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast One Piece reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is One Piece episodes 119 and 120. If my tongue looks like it's black, you might think that I have some kind of like brain rot, crazy disease or something. You're right, but that has nothing to do with that. I was actually just eating some warheads. So that's what that's about. And,
like the disclaimer.
Yeah, so if I look like I'm dying, I am, but that has nothing to do with my black tongue. What happened last time?
Nami's fight was last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it wasn't that great, but hopefully what comes next it's all uphill from here.
And and we have Crocodile holding everyone hostage still, and still no sign of Luffy. So, so I feel like we're like building up. You know, we gotta get Zoro's fight done with, and then maybe there might be some action going on. And also then there's also a bomb that's gonna kill all of the rebels and all the palace guards once the rebels like break in half an hour.
Indeed. Well, let's see what happens. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get 2 weeks ahead on uncut reactions, 1 week ahead on edited reactions. Let's see what's going on. Let's go. Ominous music to start it off.
Imagine how messed up it would be if it just like kept spinning her tighter and tighter until she just like, you know.
Time to go to the next level.
Oh, he's like, I can't defeat you right now, but I'm gonna defeat you right now.
He'll have to use some of that duelist advantage of multiple swords in this fight if he ever wants a chance. Or maybe not. There's got to be a weakness to this. Like,
yeah.
he can't be impenetrable all the time.
What about his eyes? Are his eyes made out of steel?
All right. 3-sword style. Kitty!
I'm surprised he hasn't broken his swords on this guy.
Well, he would have if he didn't upgrade all of his swords to Wazamono. Is that what they're called? Oh yeah, he's been thinking about the whole fight as... How the fuck did he do that? I know he's done it before, but how the fuck did he do that? Zoro's been thinking about the whole the fight about, as you know, as you train as a person who wields a sword, like even if you're fighting somebody with like a double-edged blade, you know, fight with them assuming they're going to be able to have to like control the edge in order to get an advantage. But this guy obviously doesn't have to do that because he's the sword. He also, side thing, looks like that guy. Does anyone remember those memes of that guy with like the fucking crazy neck? Does anyone remember that? His neck was literally like from his ears to his shoulders.
Ow.
It's fine. Is this just gonna be a flashback about his backstory? Oh, never mind. No, it's new. It's new info, not superfluous.
He's like,
was that it? They're really waiting for the whole butterfly to cross the entire screen. So the power of friendship will give him the strength to cut steel.
no. Man, all that training really paid off. I mean, you just also said he can't get crushed. And the hydraulic press out here.
You're missing something here, Zoro. Remember what your sensei taught you.
Just somehow sharpens up his blades. Better watch out, Zoro.
Oh shit!
Ow!
I thought he just choked him with that hand.
Yeah.
This guy's not even as strong as Mihawk. What are you doing, Zoro? He's all shredded up. How the fuck is he alive?
And how is there that much? They just keep coming.
Somebody with the resurrection fruit must be inbound to his location at this moment. Imagine watching this as a kid and being like, first Luffy and now Zoro? What the fuck is gonna happen in this story?
I think he maybe ate like the cat fruit or something. 'Cause he's got like he's got at least 9 lives.
Maybe he did. What the hell is going on?
He's going to the next level. Oh my god.
Is he a fucking superhero?
He's psychic.
He must have something like that. What is this feeling?
He's like in the zone.
Yeah, it's something like that. He's having an Ackerman awakening moment.
Mm-hmm.
One is all, and all is one. He had a Zenkai boost. He's a Saiyan.
Can't hear him at all.
Oh, Miso no Kyukyu. He's like straight up Demon Slayer. Oh, he's doing the fucking... Oh, he's skating?
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun. This is so sick.
Wow.
You know what I love most about that fight? How quiet it was. Like, I was expecting like the most shonen-y. Oh, it's at the end anyway.
That's crazy. It felt very short. Oh,
Apparently there's no spoilers for endings.
it's good.
I love the watercolor style.
I like this song. Wow, that was
ending.
a really sick episode.
That was a really good episode. Very focused. Very good.
Yeah, that was cool. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be that great.
The more it went on, like for the first half, I was like, okay. I mean, I even said it, what I was thinking, like, oh, power of friendship, like, oh, the bonds, you know, some people cut without, you know, knowing what they're cutting for, and, you know, like that. It seems like it was built up like, oh, as long as you have a reason to cut through something, then you'll go even harder type thing. So it's like power of friendship, but it didn't go that way at all, and I'm super happy about it. You know, I'm way more excited about like what's going on with him, like reaching a new level, and it feeling kind of like mysterious, but also
kind of
very
spooky.
earned.
Yeah,
like
it's also this weird thing of like how we joke every time about how he's so strong, but like he almost dies every time he fights someone. Like in this fight, it was warranted because this guy was really strong. But like even when he fights someone that is so weak, he still like almost dies.
Yeah.
So I guess what I like about that is like taking that experience that he has every single time, but then now like making it mean something. It's like because he was brought close to death, then he like not necessarily like he like magically got a power up. It's like he like because he was like closer to dying, became more in tune with the world and like the rhythm of things, and had like
kind of like Gojo.
Yeah. It's that moment, and it's yet to be seen whether or not he'll be able to carry that forward, or if it will, you know what I mean? Like how many times will he have to like get pushed to this point before he can fully master it? Because like he said, he felt it with Mihawk when he almost died there, and in the fight with Hachi as well. It flashed back to that. So it's like he's like sensed it before, but like this is the first time he's been able to recognize it in the moment and use it. And I'm curious to see whether or not now that he's like had that experience, if he'll be able to like tap into that whenever he wants, or if it'll be more of a process of, you know, he has to almost die a few more times before he can gain access to that part of his consciousness, you know, without putting himself in that much danger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also good that they have Chopper now, even though Chopper's nowhere near him. But it's good to know that
a doctor is on
doctor,
board the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was sick. I really love just the pacing of the fight and the way that they did everything. Like, it would have been so easy for it, like, yeah, I don't know. It would have been so easy for it to just be like a big screaming fest and everything. But the fact that they toned it down and dialed it back so much, but it was like 10 times more impactful to me than what it could have been with like, you know, him like screaming about like Luffy's waiting for me or some shit. Like I need to keep my prom or some nonsense. Yeah. I love that it was very personal development. It was very about his development as a swordsman. And that's like the aspect of Zoro's journey that I really love. Not just him like, you know, being a part of the crew and like hanging out and palling around with everybody. That's cool when everybody else is around. But his journey, like a lot of the relationship building and everything of One Piece and the whole crew and everything is really wholesome and good for like a character like Vivi or a character like Chopper or Nami or even Usopp or Luffy. But Zoro specifically for me is like I really love the persistence about his personal journey and his growth. Like I that's something like being very it feels very centered, self-focused, but not in a selfish way. Like I like that, and it really like, yeah, just the calmness of after he kind of locks in a little bit. It was just it worked a lot. It worked really well for me personally. Yeah.
I really like when he looks over at Mr. One. And then, like, you can see his mouth moving, but, like we see him talking, and then when it's Zoro's perspective, his mouth is just moving and he doesn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And, that was really cool. And then how he, like, doesn't slice through the, like, the leaf, but then slices through the rock. So it's like he's, like, so dialed in that moment. Also, he just, like, looks super cool.
This is a really sick shot.
Yeah, I did really like the way that the fight progressed, because at first it seemed like, okay, classic One Piece side villain fight, you know, they do the same thing a million times, it's like kind of even, and then they like do something crazy, but like kind of miss or like fumble around a little bit, and then like...
They just get overpowered.
Yeah. But I felt like I liked this one because I felt like this fight, unlike almost every other One Piece fight, the villain managed to stay equally as imposing until the end.
Yes.
Which has...
Compared to the Nami fight, right?
Compared to the Nami fight, compared to a lot of the fights, like...
Recent examples,
that's obviously the most recent example, but same with, you know, Usopp and Chopper's fight. Same with a lot of the fights. And it doesn't make them, like, terrible or bad or anything. It's just that it's very satisfying in something like this, where it's like, like with Miss Devil's Finger, it's like she comes in, we perceive her as a big threat. The way that she's introduced makes her seem threatening, and then, like, you know, she was threatening, but like only to a point. But then in this we see Mr. One, and he seems very threatening, and you kind of expect him to follow the pattern of like, okay, he seems very threatening, but then he's kind of bumbling around and not on the level that he was kind of originally hyped up to be by the introduction. But I felt like he was. I felt like, you know, oftentimes when these villains, like with the Hachi thing, where he's like, oh, I have the 8-sword style, and then just kind of gets dunked on. And it's like every time that they always try and pull out, like, oh, my spike ball, or like, oh, this like extra crazy, my like crazy attack, but then it doesn't really work. But then Mr. One pulls out the like blade things, and you're like, okay, is that an effective use of your power? And then just immediately is a super effective use of his power. You know, it's not just like, I'm gonna make this person like do this this thing to like make it seem cool, even though it kind of does the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it really was effective and completely sliced him up and almost killed him.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because the reason why Mr. One is so powerful in this moment is and trounces Zoro so extremely at the beginning is a storytelling, like you know, method. It's so that Zoro can have the chance to bounce back. It's like it's giving him a powerful enough opponent so that he can triumph over him and it can feel really earned. And that's something that, like, I think One Piece has struggled with a lot, like you mentioned, like a lot. And the last Nami fight is a perfect example of it, because the power of Miss Doublefinger is basically the same thing. If you think about it, like, it's functionally the same thing. She's just not as strong, which, you know, you can accept. But because Nami is not as powerful as Zoro, and because, you know, Nami is used to a different effect. Her development is used to a different effect. Obviously, it's a lot more comedy based because of her whole relationship with Usopp. But to develop the relationship with Usopp is a big part of her thing there. But like you realistically, with the stakes that have been set up, you cannot actually have a really strong, like, you can't have this moment with Zoro with Nami as far as character development, because Nami isn't up to that level of strength. So in order to have like a triumph over it, you have to dumb Miss Doublefinger down. Whereas in this case, Zoro is so, like, powerful, and we know he is, and his strength is not about, like, you know, his story, like I was saying, is more about his own personal development as a swordsman. Whereas Nami's is more about being with the crew and sort of trying to measure up to and like be good for her friends and everything. So you know, it has a different narrative purpose. So it makes sense that Nami would need to, like, kind of team up with Usopp in that moment and use her intuition and all of her knowledge and everything to kind of triumph in that fight. But you can't get this kind of emotion out of it. I think this worked really well. And I think that it highlighted Zoro's character in a really, really good way, and it set things up well for the future. Yeah. I
agree.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I feel like it all just comes down onto like the not like necessarily the power scaling, but the power, like the ability matchups.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like if Miss Doublefinger had a different kind of ability that like played more into, not like if Miss Doublefinger had like a ranged attack, like if she had like a gun ability or something, but then if Nami got in close, then it was like, you know what I mean? Anyway, this isn't really about that. Yeah. But I really like, all of that to say, this episode was really good. And I feel like really lived up to the hype of Zoro versus Mr. One.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And it makes me really excited as well that we weren't cutting away, so then it makes me feel like and then like this, it's like all the other episodes were kind of, you know, this that kind of not necessarily just like, not to waste time or anything, just like that's how it worked out. And now I feel like, okay, we did this and now we're like, it's kind of a cap on all of these little side fights.
Yeah.
And when we go back to Crocodile, then like some stuff's actually gonna get moving, and we're gonna, you know, see what Cobra does next, and if Luffy shows up, and, you know, what Vivi's gonna do. So I'm really excited. Me too. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's move right along. Just let them in. They were about to slice her. What? Okay. Oh no. Here we go. Here we go. There's just gonna be a bunch of red shirts built up to be super badass, but just get trounced by Crocodile or Miss All Sunday. They're just gonna get like sand evaporated. I hope it's quick. They're literally just gonna. Not because I hate them, but just because like they weren't built up at all. They were just thrown in here to like. I'll spare you. Go home. Thank God. You should listen to him. What? What is happening? Do they eat a devil fruit together? What is happening?
Temporarily.
What?
The fatal fuel. Crocodile nearly just killed the main character. I don't...
Well, if you only have a limited amount of time, please just do it. Like, stop talking.
That was my first grade project.
Were these guys in some, like, filler that we skipped?
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
Because they're acting like these guys were, like, built up.
I think you might be right. That changes things. Never mind. I take back what I... If that's true, I take back what I said. Because that would make sense why, like, we would be interested to see this matchup if they were previously established characters that we skipped.
It's pretty brutal, honestly. It was that short? That was not worth it at all.
That doesn't seem like it was worth it.
Why would anyone ever do that? I'm starting to agree with this guy now.
Yeah, I mean, like, that... It couldn't have been that much of a power boost. What bird is this? Oh, it's not a bird.
Oh.
It's... another zoan fruit of some sort. Oh, jackal.
That's so cool.
That's pretty sick. Keeping with the Egyptian theme.
It just sucks because, like, he's made of sand. You know?
If only Ace was here. I think you said that before. It's okay, just have a nap. You'll be good.
Luscious was like, God, why I have to get paired up with this guy? Look at Lashes, he's carrying them. No, you don't want to get too dehydrated. Probably should swallow it. It's a bit annoying to have to take time afterwards to detangle those.
Everybody's regrouping.
That's like that like an old Narnia thing that they like are like
something like that.
badly photoshopped into the sky and just like get smaller. She's so lucky that her log post didn't break.
Goodbye, Batman.
Why would you... This guy, yeah, he kind of just ghetto in a way. It's like, yeah, you're weak, get out of here.
Who just pulled up? Luffy? Did we just get spoiled from the fucking commercial break thing? Did Luffy just show up in that moment? Oh, no.
No.
Koza.
Oh.
Spill the beans, Vivi.
Tell him very quickly.
Tell him right now before anything else can happen.
Look at his sword.
His sword is sick. Oh, but he's smart enough he doesn't need to fucking be told.
Whatever happened to the Marines that were headed over here?
They're on their way. Hell, even Smoker would be a good asset at this moment. Forget Ace.
Should have listened to your dad.
You've been played, sir. Imagine the fucking rage. The rage.
And the horrible guilt.
Yes.
Of you just, like, killed thousands of people because you got bamboozled by this guy.
All the people who wanted to protect you and your friends and family, and all of your friends and family. Fucking Chaka making up for lost time.
Yeah.
Hell yes. With his last breath, he said the most important words he could have said to Koza. What? Vivi!
What are you doing right now?
He's not strong enough to kill Crocodile. Why do you want him to stay? He has to call the people off so they all don't die in an explosion, Vivi! I don't understand. Do you understand that logic? I feel like if he can call away as many people as possible, they won't all fucking die in an explosion. Am I crazy? The only way to do that is to kill Crocodile, and we're not strong enough to do that. Does she have a plan? Is she smarter than me? She probably is.
I'm assuming
it's not a high bar. He's such a badass! Chaka! He's killing it right now. He got that dog in him. So did Vivi just stop him for no reason? So Vivi just literally stopped him for no reason?
Unless I'm misunderstanding something.
Vivi stopped him.
Do something different now?
All right. I'll just assume I don't have all the information. They're all just like, are they gonna blow it up yet?
Why didn't they do that in the first place?
I don't know.
I was kind of thinking about that. I'm like, why are you blowing up the palace? Like, I just assumed that there was no way other than that to surrender.
I thought that was Crocodile for a second walking out. I love how just on it Koza is.
Me too.
He's not fucking around.
We don't have any white flags. We never planned to surrender.
What are they gonna do when they see it?
Hope they actually stop.
Don't believe it! It's some kind of trick! That's not our leader!
Now, go home! Get away from here!
Get the fuck out of here! Don't say the fight's over. Say we're victorious. Now leave. Because otherwise they'll be like, what the fuck is going on here? This is really intense. I just want to say that right now. What do you think they're, Hippo Man? No fucking way.
Oh my god.
Baroque Works agents. Fucking millions.
How did no one notice those fucking tattoos?
Well,
I'm so pissed off.
say goodbye to that plan. Wow. Wow.
Don't you just absolutely hate all these freaking Baroque Works guys?
You're not gonna own a supercar, buddy. All right? I know you're just a single mom trying to own her own business, but this isn't fucking... multi-level marketing schemes aren't the way to do it, all right? You're not a business owner. You're just a lackey for some schemer at the top who's using your ambitions against you.
Sucks. I feel like I'm just like, God damn it, you know?
Yeah. This was like there were points in this episode where we were kind of like making fun of it, but that we were just joking. This episode was extremely tense, and although there were like the one real moment was like Vivi stopping him. I guess so. Let's examine that.
I think was he gonna run out there and just be like, "Oh, it's gonna explode," and then she's like, "No, we need to like."
Yeah,
say we surrender. And I guess I just figured that that's what he was gonna do in the first. Like, I didn't think he was just gonna like.
I didn't think of the particulars of him, what he would say to get them to leave were that important. I guess that's what it was. It was like he was going to go tell everyone, guys, there's a bomb. Everybody's here is gonna die. Get the fuck out. But then she stopped him and changed it to, we need to stop we need to work together to stop each of our sides. So it is different. But the effect, theoretically speaking, like the goal here either way was to get everybody out of the square. Yeah. So
I guess I do think what she did was more effective, but she didn't need to completely stop him. She probably could have just run behind him and like yelled that at him. Yeah. And
but it's not even that big of a deal at the end of the day. I love Chaka. I wonder
like
this is one of those things.
I was his biggest hater when he just
That's what I want to get
forgot.
to. I this is one of those things that I wonder if Oda like intentionally made him kind of a dummy so that he could have a redemption here. You know what I mean? Like if him like making that super mistake in that moment that could have altered this whole situation. I think, like, I wonder if Oda made him make that mistake to give him a redemption later, or if Oda sort of in the moment like, I need them to stay here and fight, so Chuck is gonna forget or like, you know, make a poor judgment call, and then now he has the opportunity with the way the story went to give him that redemption, and he capitalized on it. As you know, it's always the question that we ask with One Piece, like how much was Oda planning on like each step of the way, and I don't know. I like it.
That's so.
And they're
cute.
both like this is like a little parakeet, but it's Chaka and Pell is the two guardians of the castle, which I actually think is sick.
That's really cool.
I didn't put it together before, but like now but that's one of those things that's like clearly intentional. That is just like such a fitting thing.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that's sick. I love that.
And Koza, he's just continually the best.
He's so awesome.
And now he's shot. I hope that he's not dead. I hope that he can pull a miraculous One Piece. You know, you thought they were dead, but they didn't die. Maneuver. I'm not entirely sure because I feel like
he doesn't have a devil fruit.
No,
you know? Like he's not Zorro.
Yeah. He also already almost died. Like, he already had that thing where he, like, should have died, but, you know, was able to be saved. And he got shot, like, many times.
I love him getting shot because that's the thing. That's the kind of, like...
It feels very realistic of, like, okay, if these Baroque Works guys were in this situation and they wanted the fight to continue, like,
that's exactly what they would do.
They're gonna assassinate this guy and make it look like it was the Royal Guards. It's also crazy because, like, they must not know that they're about to get exploded, right? Unless they do, and they're just willing to take one for the team.
Or maybe they're just going to leave at the last moment.
They could ditch.
They could get away at the last moment. But I think that the way that Crocodile has always talked about... I mean, maybe he actually even mentioned specifically that he didn't tell the millions and billions and stuff like that. But I think that he meant... Maybe it was at the conference table when all of the numbers... like got there. He was like, this is gonna be the Baroque Works' last operation. I think he's like been kind of setting them all up to get killed. So it makes sense. It makes sense on every level. This situation, turning out the way it is right here, and it works so well. And there's not. It is one of those things that just feels so right for the story.
Yeah.
And just like satisfying in like a fucked up way. Like just the way all the dominoes are tumbling down is just like. Feeding in perfectly to what not expectation, but just like into what came before it, but also little twists and turns here. Like I don't know, it's just this part of the story is just really well made. You can tell, and that the last little thing Koza getting shot is just like a perfect example of that, because all the like you kind of forget that the Baroque Works agents are there, but it's set up so well and on purpose that like if you were like I wasn't thinking about that in the exact moment until he got shot, then I'm like, oh my god,
it makes so much sense.
It just kind of locks into place, and that's beautiful writing right there.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's awesome. Anyway, great episode, great couple of episodes, really two really banger episodes, honestly. So yeah, I hope you guys check out Patreon to see the next ones right now, and leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye bye.